In a small, sun-dusted village lived a young girl named Fariha.
Her family wasn't wealthy, but their hearts were full of love and faith. Every morning, Fariha's first task was to fetch water from the communal well.
Her most prized possession for this chore was a simple clay jug, a gift from her late grandmother. It was cool to the touch and a beautiful earthy brown, and she handled it with immense care. One bright morning, as she filled the jug at the well, she heard a faint, sharp sound. Her heart sank. A thin spider web-like crack had appeared on its side. She tried to ignore it, telling herself it was just a scratch. But as she began the long walk home, she noticed a steady drip, drip, drip of water leaving a dark trail on the dusty path behind her. By the time she reached her doorstep, the jug was nearly half empty. Day after day, the crack seemed to grow, and her frustration grew with it. "It's useless," she cried one afternoon, setting the leaking jug down with a thud. Tears welled in her eyes. "What good is a jug that can't even hold water?"
We are poor, and now I have broken the one good thing we had. She felt a wave of helplessness washed over her. How could she serve her family with a broken tool?
Her mother, who was sitting nearby weaving a mat, looked up with a gentle, knowing smile. She walked over, her hands warm and reassuring, and placed one on Fariha's shoulder.
My dear Fariha,
She said softly, "Don't be so quick to despair."
sometimes our greatest lessons come from our imperfections. Fariha looked at her mother, confused. But Mama, it's broken. It fails at its only job. Her mother picked up the jug, tracing the crack with her finger. Listen closely,
she said, her voice like a soft melody.
Even an empty jug can carry water if you hold it with care and intention. A lesson is not just the result, but the effort in your heart. Fariha didn't fully understand, but she trusted her mother's wisdom.
Her mother continued, "Tomorrow, when you walk, I want you to do something different. Walk slowly.
Hold the jug with both hands, steady and balanced.
Tilted hooves, so with the crack facing upwards.
Don't lose. Focus on each step as a prayer, each drop you save as a blessing. Try this, my child." The next morning, Fariha took a deep breath and went to the well.
She filled the cracked jug, her heart pounding with a mix of doubt and hope. Remembering her mother's words, she cradled it carefully in her arms, angling the crack toward the sky. She started her walk home, but this time, it wasn't a race against the leak. It was a slow, deliberate journey. She focused on her balance, on the feel of the cool clay in her hands, on the gentle sloshing of the water inside. She paid attention to the path, stepping carefully over loose stones. The villagers she passed, who were usually a blur in her haste, now came into focus. She smiled at an elderly man and watched children playing. The world seemed to slow down with her.
When she finally arrived home, her arms ached, but her heart was light.
She peered into the jug. It was almost full. Only a few drops had escaped.
She looked at her mother with wide, amazed eyes.
A huge smile spread across her face. Her mother smiled back, her eyes twinkling. You see, Fariha, you carried the water, not because the jug was perfect, but because you were patient, you were careful.
Your intention and your effort filled the gap where the clay was broken. From that day on, Fariha continued to use her cracked jug. The walk to the well was no longer a chore, but a moving meditation. She learned that Allah rewards persistence and care, even in the smallest of deeds.
The lesson stayed with her forever. Effort and patience are often more valuable than perfection.